Alright, this is Heath with Viridisk, and I have another tournament for you today. Also today I have a guest commentary. It is our pilot for the drone, Squaw. He's going to be doing the commentary with me.
Hey guys, this is Squaw. Not very good or knowledgeable about disc golf too much, so I'm the new voice, so expect me to give you Eustace commentary.
Alright, let's take a look at the players, and we'll get this tournament going.
Hi, I'm Robbie Olson from Oconomowoc, Wisconsin, Team Dynamic Discs.
David Heasley from Spring Grove, Illinois, and currently not sponsored. My name's Brian Earhart. I'm from Vernon Hills, Illinois, and I am sponsored by Plastic Addicts.
My name's Nate Heinold, Ledgestone Insurance from Washington, Illinois. Come play the Ledgestone Insurance Open. Thanks. Hi, my name's Alan Hermosillo. I'm from Blue Island, Illinois. Plastic Addicts, that's my sponsor. Thank you.
Alright, those are the players. The round starts with Brian in the lead at 44. And there's going to be 5 people on this card, so it's going to be a long round.
Yeah, it was a very long round, but you know, I got to meet some of the newer guys. I mean, I met Brian before. He gets to shoot first too. I remember this. Parks it basically.
Yeah, so we're trying out a new camera angle. It's not really new. We've always had these 4 camera angles, but now we're trying to showcase it in this video. This course was in Round Lake, Illinois. This is our home course. This is where Viridisk crew members go to play very often. Hole number 1, as you can see, is pretty straightforward. And this course used to be called Fairfield Park, and it was a much smaller 18-hole. And with the help of Brent Comencioli, one of the tournament directors for this course, he actually turned it into, along with Chuck Kennedy and the Round Lake Park District, this course turned into a very
world-class course.
World-class.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, 18-hole course, and now it's called Squaw Creek instead of Fairfield Park.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge major change. You still have some of the classic feeling holes that remind you of the old ones. The old course, if you really do miss it, it's nice that you can still finish quite a few holes if you're just coming home from work and just swinging through and want to throw a few holes. Oh, that putt.
Yeah, it's the first hole, and he's on camera, so it's some of these players, when they're not used to being on camera, but I think all these players have been on camera before.
Yeah. Well,
but I know Brian's used to be on camera.
Yeah, Al was saying he was a little worried about the drone, but I remember halfway through he was like in love with that drone, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, as long as we just stay out of these players' way with our cameras and our drones, we're good to go.
It's one of the reasons why we try to avoid shooting the drone while they're putting, because the excessive noise it might make. But I sometimes wish maybe down the road if drones ever become quieter, that would be great just to see the top shot. Like some of the really long putts would be pretty fun to shoot, I think.
Yeah.
It'd look great, especially in the woods.
And if we just get a better camera on the drones too, I think we'll get a better golf coverage.
Oh yeah, maybe if we could ever get a drone that was big enough to carry a zoom lens, we could have parked far away and just zoomed in. That would be fabulous.
All right, so we had Brian, Al, and Nate all birdied that first hole. So that's a good start for them. So Brian's up again. And in my last video, one of the commentaries is that the shot of the player's reaction is a pretty good shot. It's just it shouldn't be the main shot. So that's why I've opted for it to be the picture-in-picture shot here. I feel it gets a more full picture when you get both the reaction and the shot. And that shot's looking good.
Yeah, it's just seeing the line and how the line changes somebody's reaction, I think, is really what they can achieve here. They might be happy at the beginning, but then all of a sudden, they dig a tree and everything's messed up, and it's just like, roar.
Yeah, I think Nate's a little short on that one, so he's going to have to probably upshot on that second shot there. All these players can reach this hole number 2. It's just a matter of how the windage is out there. And that's looking good. It just needs to
circle back one.
Oh, that looks really hard. Wow, I don't know if he really meant to go that high, but that looks
crazy hyzer.
Yeah. I know Robbie can throw really far, but that looks parked as well. So here's Nate with his upshot. Or actually, I think he might be running for it. Oh, that looks good. He should be able to finish out his par right there.
Here's Earhart with his dual-handed putt.
Oh, he just barely missed it. Please, is it rolling? Now these first few holes, I think 1 through 6, there is slight elevation in some of these, but not. Oh, wow, that putt was so close.
Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't notice that he was also a dual-handed putter too.
Yeah, he carries. He's got 2 putters in his hand, just like Brian does. Oh, I think Brian's not having a good hole this one.
Wow, he just, yeah. It's like my regular putt.
This is for 2. Oh, he bangs it. Sweet putt. That looks like a pro AVR that he's putting with. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Earhart is not having a good second hole.
And Robbie also takes a 2 on this one. And here's Nate for 3. And while Nate's putting, actually, let's see if he bangs it.
Does like his dragon lean back.
Yeah.
Now Mike's turn to finish it up.
I think Al, that's for 3. Brian, I think that's a 5 for Brian. Yeah. Brian's got double bogey on that one. So David and Robbie both birdie, very nice. Hole number 3, we're looking at the map for these signs are not up yet. Hopefully they'll be up pretty soon. This is a very long hole, and it's one of the first few par 4s out here.
Yep.
And when we get back into the woods, it's going to be more par 4s and 5s. And so yeah, so the 3 picture-in-picture is to show you. The main view is from a drone shot. Then you have the player's reaction. Then you have the shot behind from the shoulder, chasing the disc to kind of show you what line these players choose. So the drone's showing you where the disc landed right there because you couldn't see it from the tee box.
Yeah, this is such a long hole. I didn't even realize where the gold tee was originally, and I actually, while they were shooting the last hole, I kind of accidentally crossed over, and I just hear like tiny little people yelling, like, "Get out of the way!"
Yeah.
and they were so far away, and I was just like so flabbergasted and very embarrassed. So, if you're out there, keep an eye out for this hole. It's very narrow too. It doesn't look like it, but it's very, very narrow from until you get to the white tee.
Yeah, and as you can see, Brian bombs it, but it's in the rough.
I mean, it's so long, and these guys can throw it so far that even the drone has a hard time, keeping up with the zoom in.
You can see it sitting right up there. It looks like a very simple shot, but that basket is slightly elevated once you get into the middle of the fairway where David is right now.
Yep.
And he's doing an upshot with a putter. So you can imagine how far he threw it. And it just took him 2 shots to get up there.
And then this is one of those holes where I was mentioning earlier where it kind of reminds you of like the old course, because the old course, I think it was the 3rd or 4th hole, was like this, except 1/3 the length.
Yeah, this was number 4 in the old course.
Mm-hmm. So if you remember the old course where it had like it was nestled on top of like a mound, a very upward sloping mound. This is exactly like it. It doesn't show on camera, but in person, it's definitely noticeable.
Yeah, in the old course, this hole you threw either a buzz or for those arms that are not as powerful, you throw a stalker or fairway driver to get up to it, and some people can throw a mid-range or a putter to get up to it, number 4. But now it's number 3, and it's 580 feet. You gotta go driver, sometimes driver, and then putter. And Brian's going for. Oh no, these first 3 holes are killing Brian. I think he's just got to get his bearings down. I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, his putting game is not quite there right now. It's very strange.
And Nate's on.
Yeah, Nate's.
I believe that was for 3.
Nick's like the Hulk. As he gets more and more angry, he just starts like pounding them out.
And we got David. I think that's also for 3 for David. And I think Robbie's going for 3 right here.
Robbie was having a very nice, consistent game, if I remember.
Yeah, I think it was. All right. So Brian, Al, both parred. Nate and Dave.
3 birdies.
Yeah, very nice. 3 birdies for that hole is pretty good.
For a par 4.
Number 4, I think, is one of my new favorite holes at this course.
This is one of my favorite holes to fly over.
Yeah. And you guys are about to see it right here. We have the drone shot right here is the middle. He's gonna take it right over that white tee box, and as long as you get in that fairway, you are golden. As long as you get somewhere in that fairway, just do not go to the left, especially if you're gonna go. If you look at Robbie's point of view right here, he's gonna bomb this. I can tell. He threw it so high it went over the drone.
Yes.
And he is in a perfect spot actually. And he's even farther than when. And here's a shot from our other camera person to show you where the basket is. And there's still people putting over here, but that's still how far you have to go once you get in the middle of that fairway. And here's Nate.
There you go. Takes the safe approach, makes it go all the way around to the edge. Yep. But he sadly cuts a little short and parks it in the
rough.
Yep.
But it's okay. He still can see the basket from there, and as long as he's not in the tall grass to the left, pretty good.
This hole is basically like a hockey stick hole. You know, you just drive down the fairway and you get to that corner and try to make it to the other edge of the hockey stick.
Very nice.
Go. Park in the fairway.
Too much hot
I think Al is saying right there he's got way too much hot dogs.
Al was quite the character. He was pretty funny.
Yeah, he is.
Remember his ridiculously ginormous, this probably sounds wrong, but his ridiculously ginormous e-cigarette.
Get in the hole.
Like
And
military grade metals.
There's Brian. I love it when he just goes up the tee, he throws and he walks away. He doesn't even need to look at it because he just knows where his desk is going. It's great. And all day, Brian and Nate are both quite the characters. They're like the greatest. I mean, I love filming them because they're duo. Look at this shot.
Yeah,
this is
right over the swamp.
That swampy area, those trees in there, they're very tight. So if you get your disc in there, it's really hard to get out. It's pretty much death in there.
Yep.
I've got my disc in there like 3 or 4 times, and I ended up like double bogeying.
15-20 minute loss.
And here's Nate coming in. He's a little short, but
just made it around that swamp. That's all that matters really in this hole.
And here we're looking at David from behind and over the top.
Ooh, he rips it.
Yeah.
Over the top.
It's hard to see.
But he parks it.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things with that. If you're throwing it over the swamp, you're not quite sure where it lands, because you know, or how it rolls or anything like that, because you just have no visual because of the swamp.
But it's pretty open. The green is pretty open as long as you just get over the grass.
Yep.
The little swamp, tall trees. As you can see, it's open. And I think Nate's deciding whether to go for it. I think he's probably just going to lay up on this one.
This is another one of those deceiving holes. Is that thing that the basket's right on top of that cement block, but that cement block is much bigger than this image shows you. I mean, it's putting it at least 3 feet in the air after everything. So you have like a very heavy upwards putt. As you can see, even the pros are struggling with it.
Okay, let's see what Brian does. I think this is for 3. So this would be...
This birdie.
Yeah, this is for bird. And he bangs it. Very nice. Made it look so easy.
Little touch of wind and then it just curve veers off. It's so annoying.
Here comes David. Very nice putt. Wow.
And if any of you ever want to get an idea of what this whole course is like, I'm sure you've already seen it, but if you haven't, we also have a complete aerial walkthrough of the Gold Course. Good times. Not quite as entertaining as watching people trying to bang these putts out. see Robbie, who's I believe almost 6 foot, still had to step on that rock and reach in there and get his disc.
Alright, that was hole number 4. They made it look easy, because, yeah, birdie, 3 birds and 2 pars. That's
They
amazing.
definitely made it easy. I mean, the drives and the approaches, where
Yeah.
most people would definitely struggle with that hole.
Well, I know we do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm a noob, so, like, it takes me, like, 5 to get through it. Except that one time I got pretty lucky.
And hole number 5 is another really good hole at this course. Now, this fairway it has a dip when you get out of the tee box right in front of you, as you can see from Al's point of view. You see that little hump right there, but then when over the hump, it goes down a little bit.
And then it starts sloping back up. And
Yeah.
It's definitely a challenge if you try to throw low, for sure. You'll definitely see some of them will actually attempt it. You can just see the disc just, as it goes over the hill, it loses some of its height, and then it has a hard time climbing as it approaches the next one. So,
And here's
Mike
Brian.
throws up. Yeah, so.
And that's kind of where you don't want to be, in that side right there, because with the line of trees, and it curves kind of around before you get up to the green, so it's really hard to get up and down from there. But it's Brian. I'm pretty sure he'll figure something out. And here's Nate.
Better shot. There you go. Shot.
Yeah, Nate and... okay, Nate.
He's in a pretty good spot. I
Yeah,
mean, he can still...
He's in an excellent spot. One of them...
gets in a really good spot. I think
Well, one
it's
of them
Robbie.
ends up in the bush.
Robbie just lines drive this low. This is the shot we were telling you.
Yep.
And you
But
can see he's
notice-
right in
yeah.
the middle of the fairway. That's
Yeah,
really
but
good.
notice that because of the first mound, wasn't able to catch any more air and lost air and just couldn't make it up the hill. He was at the bottom of the hill.
And here's Brian for his approach. That's what I was talking about. He caught some early trees before he can get out. And this is an interesting view from the drone for the approach shot. We're gonna want to show you kind of what some of the trees they have to get through to get up to that green. So you can see in the corner from the shoulder view kind of where they're throwing it at. And then from the drone you can kind of see how much trees they have to get through to get to there.
Yep, it's a very narrow gap for sure. It has a wide open mouth at the bottom, but that's really where the hill starts. So...
And Al chooses an interesting way of getting over everything. So you can see how much work he has to do.
Yeah, he almost basically does a tomahawk over the trees. And I think he was pretty successful. He just made it right to the edge of the bushes. Nate has a nice, easy curve in.
Oh, Nate just did a beautiful approach.
Yep.
Upshot. That's parked.
This is,
And Brian has a smooth,
Man, just
like
takes
the most
4
smooth,
seconds and he's parked.
left-handed,
Yeah.
like I've ever seen. I mean, he just... It's like butter every time.
it's like
he
a video game flick.
Yeah.
And ninjas can always throw perfect stars every time. Brian.
Alright. I think Robbie's in here.
Yeah, Robbie, on his approach, made it into the bush. Or is that Al?
No, that's Robbie. So here's David. That's
Yeah, I remember David was, I think his approach made it into the woods too, because he spent quite a bit of time in there looking for it.
I think he was looking...
Actually, no, I'm sorry, I apologize. That was the group in front of them. There was one of the guys who was stuck in the woods for quite some time.
Yeah, what are you doing, Brian? Get away.
Nate and Brian are always going at each other. It's quite funny.
Yeah, Robbie was really dominating later on in the game. I mean, he was on fire for a while.
I think that was for 3 for Nate. And David, I think, is 4. Yeah, and this hole is not too difficult, but still a good challenge at the same time. But that was a fun,
Yeah, it looks
fun
like...
hole.
Oh, actually, Nate parred it. I mean, birdied it.
Yeah. So now hole number 3 is also another interesting hole. It's literally goes straight downhill once you get past this big tree in the middle with the drone shot here. And where Nate is going is probably not where you want to go, but
There's 2 trees. The first tree, like, right before, and then there's a tree right after. I mean, it's right before the entrance of before you get to the basket. And those trees make choosing a line very difficult, in my opinion.
Yeah.
My very noobish opinion.
And it looks deceiving. It looks like very simple when you walk up to the tee box. It's like, okay, I just throw it towards the flag, and you know, and you just try to get between those trees, but you have to decide to go around the trees from the left or around the tree from the right.
Yeah, the trees are perfectly placed where like the average person who only has maybe 2 or 3 line options, because you know that's about their skill levels, are definitely going to be stuck. You know where we don't have quite the skills to put the hyzer or anhyzers on our discs. You know, this is definitely one of the challenges. For this is a great hole, you know, a short hole to practice, you know, your lines.
Here's Robbie coming up. He decides for. That's good. Look at. Oh.
He got a very fast, straight, thin S pattern, I believe, and it just cut through those trees, no problem.
But it actually caught with one of the branches and dropped. Yeah.
But it looked clean from the drone.
And he's gonna lay up. So you can see that kind of drop, and if you hit the basket in a very wrong way, it starts rolling.
After 3 high holes, you know, they just give you this drop hole, and you're just like, where are?
I think Nate's in the bush right now. He's coming out. Yep. Whoop. Ooh, that was close.
Bounces off the rim.
Want to come out, Nate?
No, I'm
you good?
Here for a while. All right. Stay in the shade.
Alpha bird.
Yeah,
nice putt.
Oh, good.
And this is David for, I believe, for par.
There you go.
Very nice.
You get up and down, man. Glad to take a 3 from that drive.
And this is for bird.
Didn't like that putter? You got it.
It's like they're feeding the basket food. little treats.
Whatever gets rolling. That way you have a headwind putter on it.
Very nice.
Leave little notes on the bottom of your disc yourself.
So we got 2 birds and 3 pars. So far we're doing good. Brian, Al, and Nate are all tied though. So it's a good round so far.
All right, so now we're in the deep woods.
And I think the hole number 4 was a signature hole for this course, and I think this is another signature hole too. I feel this is the part of the Squaw Creek right here, the water, and this is what I'm trying to show you with the drone. They have to throw over this creek, and you can kind of see where the disc has landed with the orange disc there. And past those trees is not where the basket is. You got to go past those trees and to the left another about 150 feet to get to the basket.
Yeah, it's extremely hard to catch any of the discs in the woods with the drone.
Get around it and skip.
Mainly because you're just in extremely tight spaces. It doesn't look like it, but it's very hard to fly the drone in the woods.
And here's Nate's shot. I think he catches a tree.
Yeah,
and
it's
the
the same.
drone's going to show you. It's right in front of you, Qua. You see the yellow disc? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of those things where it's hard to follow the disc and not crash.
Yeah. So we have a view of the drone here, and we have a view of also where the disc lands in the upper right-hand corner. And this is for Sarah, our other camera lady. She's showing you where the basket is. Its basket is way past those trees, kind of up a hill too.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those holes where very few people ever actually park it. They actually had a dedicated spotter for for the entire game.
It's like impossible to park this thing. I mean, because of all these trees, and then where Nate is going is another probably 70, 80 feet past his disc. So, David, I don't know if you saw this, but let's watch him do the approach here. That's a little low. Oh, that's going to go into the bush. But when he came in, he actually moved all the logs to the right by himself. Like he just picked it all up.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
That was quite hilarious. And that white basket to the right of your screen is the white basket. The gold one is way past that one too. So
it's my basket.
Yeah, the white basket is. Oh, he's going. Oh, it kicked to the right.
Oh, man. True love.
Yeah, but it kicks it all the way to the bushes though, I think. And Robbie does all his approach shots are amazing.
Yeah, he's probably one of the most consistent approach people I've yet to see play.
Yeah. And here we have Brian getting up there. Oh, what a beautiful shot. You see the Yep. See where the gold basket is? And Brian just made it that hole into it look so easy. He's got about a 20-foot putter, I think. And Al's in trouble here, and he's gonna kick tree to tree. That's so hard to get out of that.
Yes, it's like a vicious cycle.
And here's David. The picture is to show you what kind of a mess he's in from behind him. And the big picture is kind of show you how the disc came out. And I don't know how he made it through all of that. You see the red disc fall.
I was absolutely, I mean, you can't see me in the screen, but I was actually in front to the right of him. And then, you know, he didn't even have room, just like Al here, they didn't even have room to really swing their arms. So, like, I mean, they're literally, like, planning how to swing their arm and the flick.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Nate. He's parked it, so he's good. Yeah, and this is where David got out at. I mean, that's amazing that he got out of that mess. Whoa. Oh, he's not.
Yep,
There's a little bounce, but I mean,
Here's Al. He's got this tree in front of him. Good. Oh. He'll be okay, though. And here's Robbie. And I love the way Robbie putts. Oh, but he just caught that little tree there, but...
He putts like me, except just way better.
More controlled. This is for bird, I think. It's for 3. Bang.
Oh, there you go. Nice 3.
He made that hole look easy.
Earhart, that guy, like
he had a, you know, hole number 3 was kind of tough for him. Hole number 2, he double bogey, and then he comes.
When he has a very good hole, it's like showstopper.
Yeah.
You know, like his drives, his approaches, his putts, like, you know, he's so entertaining to watch that when he does normal, it's boring.
Yeah.
But like, because you just expect just show-stopping moves from him.
Yeah.
You know, everything he does looks awkward, but it just looks amazing when it leaves his hand.
So he double bogeys number 2, and then he has a tough time putting 3, and then he goes and birdies number 7. I mean,
My
like,
perfect example right here.
Yeah.
You know, like, it wasn't anything dramatic. He was just playing a safe line, and you're just like yawn, and then it just hits the tree.
and here's Nate. Oh, that's good. That's looking good. Except that's probably
10 high and 50 right.
That's gonna be a tough putt out of there.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get through those trees.
Here's Robbie. Right. Ooh! Oh, he sneaks through the first skinny tree and hits the big tree.
Yeah. This hole, I think
Gosh,
almost everybody hit a tree, if I remember.
I think so. Except for Nate. Except Nate went.
Oh yeah, this is when Nate birdied. I remember. Yeah.
No, I don't know. No, let's just watch.
You're a par or birdie, but see another tree for Al.
And there goes Brian with that flick again, as if it's nothing.
See how smooth it goes. Like, it's like he didn't even plan it.
There's Al. Oh my god, that was close. So here's Nate, and
oh yeah, never mind. He's behind these trees.
Yeah, he's behind a lot of trees. Oh, but he almost bangs it.
Dink of death.
Oh. That's par for Brian.
And knowing Nate, he's probably just fumigating right now. Just like rawr, rawr, rawr.
Yeah, but Nate's a good sport, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. He never lets his angers and frustration out on anybody. You know, he understands it's just the way the sport is.
Yeah.
But like anybody else, just give him his space, let him cool down so he can concentrate on the game.
Al's for par, and Nate is for his par. I think just about 3 inches lower, he would have banged it. Man, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Because he threw it through all those trees. Everybody pars in that one, so. So we got Al and Brian are still pretty close together here. Hole number 9 is also another fun hole. The drone shot here is to show you get the swamp that you have to throw. And this is from the tee box in the left-hand corner. And that's kind of show you that first shot. Kind of show you how that flight pattern is. Then I switch it to the shot from the basket coming towards you, so you can kind of see where the lines that the players have thrown here.
Yeah. Well, it's inbound.
There we go. And that's a good looking line for Robbie. And that looks, wow, he threw it way past that. Over the swamp again.
Get in the hole.
Yeah, it's all park so far.
Yeah.
I mean, those are park jobs.
This is definitely one of those holes where like they're just like.
And Al opts for a backhand left-hander, and that is freaking. I would be so scared.
Yep.
Oh, and he made it look. So, he just threw it over.
So.
And Heiser
These guys make everything look so easy. I mean, like, for a noob just looking in the swamp.
That's an awesome putt.
You know, just like, I'm not losing my disc. I'm going to the white tee. You know, but these guys, I'm like, oh, water? It's just tall grass to us.
Here's Nate for his bird.
Oh my god.
Oh, it hits the tree.
Damn, just
he's not happy.
That branch, if I remember.
No, it was the tree right in front of him. And David for bird. These holes are beautiful. I'm loving these wooded holes.
Yeah,
so
the wooded holes are just so enjoyable to just play or watch.
It was a nice day too. It wasn't that humid, if I remember.
Yeah, it was 82, I believe.
It was a very nice day. I think everybody's gonna tap in their bird, except for Nate. Yep, we're good to go there. Yep, unfortunately Nate got the par on that one.
Unfortunate. Wow. I would be so happy if I got par on that.
Hole number 10 is another crazy hole. Oh my gosh. This is from the drone flying, and I can tell you're kind of fighting with it. But you can kind of see from over the shoulder of Brian. He throws his flick like it's nothing. But he catches that tree right in the middle. And that tree in the middle is what causes a lot of problems for people. So from that tree, you got another, I think, about 200 and something feet way past that tree to get to the basket. So it's a really, I think about almost 300 feet actually from that tree.
You could definitely tell Chuck Kennedy really thought about this hole. Just basically going through all the lines in his heads and just like most lines are going to converge right about here. So we're just going to put a big tree right there.
And,
you know?
And Robbie just puts the disc kind of where you want to be.
Yep.
And here is David, and I think he kind of curls it a little tight, and Claus giving him a thumbs up, like, yeah, you made it. And then here's Al. But as long as you don't go into any of these shrubs on the side, like Al did there, then I think you're okay. But he just hits that tree. So here's a drone again. I think this shot I wanted to show kind of what the disc is coming towards the drone here. There we go. But you know, he hits the same tree as Brian. They're buddies. So and on that side, you don't want to be on that side.
Like I said, like the whole hole is very cavernous feeling because it's so open feeling.
What do you think of that shot he just threw? He
did a roller, didn't he?
He did an overhand roller, and somehow it came out, but it just hits the tree.
Yeah.
And here's Brian with another side arm here. Oh my God.
This is what I'm talking about, showstopper. Look at, I mean, who throws like that and makes it look that easy?
And you can
and
see
that
the basket
good?
in the right.
I know, like
corner right there. Oh my God.
Jealousy.
And here's Nate. He has to pitch out in the middle of that because there's a whole row of trees in front of him. So that's how difficult this hole is. And here's Al.
Good line drive.
Wow.
Yeah, for a lefty, that guy is amazing.
Wow. I just love watching him and Brian the whole day. 2 lefties in the card. I just loved it. And David, I think he's going to get through all this. Yep. That was good. Yeah, so I was so glad that Kirill, our other videographer, camera guy, he's... Oh, look at Robbie all behind that tree.
Dude, that looks so close.
Yeah, the whole day he was... I was asking him to ask the players to film them from behind the shoulders because I love that shot. While I filmed the big pictures to kind of show you guys how far the players are from the basket. And I think Brian's going to go for this, so we're going to watch this. Oh! He just tickled 2 chains. Yeah. Oh my God, that would have been for 3. Oh, and Al just bangs it. What an awesome putt. And I'm gonna show. And then so he did, and this is from the view from Robbie right here. Just show. And he's putting from the knee, so that's amazing.
Doesn't look like it, but I think he was a good 15 feet away too. It
Yeah,
doesn't look
definitely.
Like I remember my jaw dropped. I was just like, man.
And yeah, so when we were able to get the okay for the players to get these shots, I think it made the storytelling a lot better. And I loved it because I can see the disc. And we have Brian and David tapping in. Right, so David and Robbie both birdie.
Yep.
Wow. I think this is a true par 5. I mean, I know if this was an open hole, it'd be a par 4, but you can see these tight gaps coming up here, and Robbie just, oh my gosh, that's an awesome shot.
Again, with Chuck Kennedy and you taking advantage of these big open holes, making them seem easy, and they're like just like, oh, it's just really long, but he knows when people throw those really long drives, there's only a few certain lines that most people can throw, and he puts those trees right where those lines converge, and that's where it's just like a net in this huge open field, long field.
And where David landed is not where you want to be. That's really,
yeah.
It's going to be tough getting out of there.
Yeah, not only tough for you, but it's still very early on in the hole too. So you got to get out and you got to make a really long drive to get to the basket still.
And here's Brian's. Oh my gosh. And Sarah in the first shot, she kind of showed you where those other players were standing. That's kind of where the basket is. So you still have a long way to go from where they've all landed so far. And we got Al.
Again, Al with his crazy
turnover shot here, and he's in an okay spot. It's not too bad there. And we got Nate, and he throws this nice hyzer, and we're gonna see what lands. Very nice, kind of where everyone else is, but you know, in the middle of those trees though, that's not really what you want either. You can kind of see what David is seeing right here in the upper right hand corner. I'm sorry.
He's got all those low-hanging branches on his way.
Yep, and somehow he's got to get out of this.
He actually had to step back from where his disc landed just to get there.
There we go. That's a good pitch out. So he's still in the open, and he's Robbie. And they were talking about animal crackers here, animal cookies, and Brian like had frosted ones or something. Before Robbie came up for this upshot. Oh, I love the way he throws. Jeez. Look at this
really,
shot.
You could really see he's using his upper body torso, just twisting it. But it's so quick, like his whole body does a flick, you know?
And this is a nice shot from Nate, too. And he's kind of throwing an S shot, and that's kind of where you want to be. And a little bit left of that is going to be where the basket is. So
I mean, to give you an idea, these guys are already throwing 300 foot, and you know they got another 300 foot to cover, which is crazy.
And David's kind of, he's kind of like have a dog leg left from here, but he's got to get through all those line of trees at the end there. So we'll see what he does. Oh, he throws it kind of low. I don't know if he wanted to do that. But it's not in another group of trees, so that's... And this is where Brian's drive landed. On top of this hill, which is an awesome place to put your disc.
You know...
Not many people can do this. And
he also avoided, like, 2 of the main trees.
Yep, yep.
That were very key to making it.
Yep. And he's got another awesome flick. Oh my gosh. And see, unfortunately, went over that hill, and I didn't have another camera person over there, so. And it's you can see the basket finally.
Yep.
Oh.
Just hit a low branch and dropped it, but
yeah.
I think he's in a good spot though.
Here's Robbie. I think he's throwing the truth on these. That's a nice. Oh my gosh.
Nice little glisten from his disc.
Yeah, he just line drives these mid ranges. It's crazy. And we have Nate. Oh, he just kicked all the way to the right. Nate's not too happy.
Yep, he nicked a tree and he's pretty. You can see it's his stance of God bless it.
Yeah. All right, David coming out of these trees again. I don't know how he does it every time. That's the second time he's done that. And we got Brian. Just laying up. And here's Nate. This is for 4. Oh. And then David's gonna jump put this. Oh, I think he was a little scared that it was gonna roll down.
Yep.
There are a little group of shorter trees and branches down there to stop the disc, but then
you're in the bush.
Yeah. And here's
like Robbie is.
Here's
here.
Robbie. This is a good shot right here, I think. It kind of show you. Oh my God! Did you see that putt?
Yep. How many of you viewers even saw where he was standing? You know.
Yeah. And it's David coming out of the. Very nice.
Gets it too.
Yeah. And it used to be when the hole was first put in. I'll tell you the story after this putt from Nate here. Just make sure he's very nice putt. It used to be when they first put the hole in, all those branches and bushes and grasses, they were up tall, so the disc, and as they're tapping in here, the disc would not roll out. But then when it started going in there, people were walking in there and stomping on the grass and stuff. Now it has created an opening around the green, so now the discs are all starting to roll out into those bushes now. So we have David and Robbie both. I'm sorry, David was the only one who bogeyed, but Brian birdied.
Yeah, I think David's because David gotten caught into the trees twice, and that really hurt him.
Yeah, he got in early trouble. The hole number 12 is very interesting. It's a dogleg right. I mean, it's really like almost, and that is the line you want. The one that Brian just did there. You really have to hug that tree, and Sarah's going to show you where the disc is there. You have to hug this tree very tight in order to get to the basket.
Otherwise, you hit the.
But if it's too tight,
Yep.
that's what happens. Oh man.
Yep. And if you keep it too loose, right at the angle, the trees are very narrow, so you can catch those trees on the left, and then you're in the bush.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, terrible.
As you can see.
Yep.
You didn't keep it tight enough, and now he's in the bush. Luckily, that's not too bushy. It's kind of open bush, but it's still an annoyance, nonetheless.
That's not a bad job.
And it puts you further away.
Yeah.
As you can see, another team was looking for their disc.
Oh, that looks good. Wow.
Great approach.
That was from a stance. He didn't even jump. And here's Al. Oh, so close.
As you guys can see, like, you know, the competition's starting to heat up. You know, they're not laughing as much anymore. Now they're all really focused on the game right now.
And David's in the trouble again, but somehow he's gonna try to make out of this.
And he does a really nice clean one, if I remember. But my memory tends to be very spotty.
Oh, yeah, he got out. That was really close, though. Jeez. And Brian's parked. And he birdied it.
As you guys can see, you know, he's just banging them all in now as begins the first 4 holes.
And you know, by this time, to me, it just seems like he's more relaxed.
Yep. Everyone's just focused on it, just getting it done, banging in. You know, watch, bang.
Nice putt. That was an awesome putt.
Nobody's missing these putts where it's just straight on, you know.
Yeah, I get so nervous sometimes when I go up the putt and there's a bunch of people watching me.
Yeah.
And I missed like a 15-foot putter. It's embarrassing.
Damn, Brian birdies.
Brian is 4 strokes ahead of Al, Nate, and Robbie, so that's crazy by this time.
Yeah, especially considering how he did poorly at the beginning, you know, getting a couple bogeys.
Hole number 13 is also another one of those really, really long wooded holes, and these skinny trees in the middle can't get in your way. So here's Brian, and he's throwing this beautiful left-hand turnover, and this thing is still going.
Just keeps going and going, taking advantage of how.
Oh my God!
Just taking advantage of how cavernous this hole is, you know.
Oh my God! That was an awesome. Oh. Look how relaxed Robbie is. Like, whoops.
Al, I think, rips one too.
I don't remember. I think he's trying to throw the same shot, and the drone's gonna catch where this is going.
It just rounded the big tree.
Yeah, he's not in the open as much as Brian though. He's a little bit too to the right with all the line of trees. And Nate throws this. He's got the right hand, so. And
he digs a tree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he'd probably be pretty close to Brian too.
And Sarah's kind of showing you where his disc landed and where the players are. And and here is David. And once you get into the fairway of this, where Sarah's going to show you where the disc is. We didn't really catch that one too well, but you can see the red disc rolling around there. Once you get in that little fairway, you still have much more to go, as Robbie is showing you here. Oh my gosh. You just pierce it. And this is Nate's second shot. Oh, that's going to pan out too early. He's going to go into the other side of the trees. And you can see where Brian landed. He's got to go kind of 150, 180 feet down and then to the right up. And he goes and he just catches that last tree.
Wow, it's kind of funny.
After a drive like his, I would be so frustrated to hit that tree too. You know, like.
Oh my God. So here's David.
The huge advantage he had kind of got ruined by that tree. Rips.
Turnover.
Good turnover.
Oh, they kicked a tree and rolled into the bush. Great.
Ooh.
Al's got a pitch out. And you can see in the corner there how many trees he had to get through. So he just rather pitch out than try anything. And he's got to go about, I think, 200-something feet up.
Yeah, the
thing.
brown open pathways just make these holes so deceiving. You feel like it's not as wooded as it really is.
And you can see what Nate has to deal with right here. He's on his knees and he catches the tree and it kicks to the other side of all the other trees. And he's not too happy about that. And we got Robbie, I think this is for 3.
Oh, way too wide.
And that looks good in the right-hand corner. I think he's got a putt from there, so you can see the green is on a slight hill, and Brian is going for the left-hand backhand here. It's so smooth how he just flicks it, and he's parked, so he's good. And now we have Nate coming out, and I believe, was that for 4? That was 4? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he should be putting for par. And you can kind of see where David's dealing with again. And he catches a little branch coming out, so. And this is for par for Nate. Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
Up, kind of slight uphill.
You see just that uplifting off him. He's just jogging towards grabbing his knees like, yeah.
Little fist bump from Robbie there.
Yep.
Ice pot. Oh my gosh.
Pounds it in. Nice
Looked
job,
like it was
David.
going to go in for a second.
It almost bounced out.
And Robbie was trying to go for bird, I think, on that one, and he caught a branch coming out. So here's Al.
Was that Robbie or was that Mike?
That was Robbie.
Not Mike. Brian.
Brian's got his putt parked right there. All right, that was 13. Long hole.
Yeah.
But nobody bogey, so that's good. So we got Brian, Nate,
hole,
and David birdie. Then we go to hole number 14. They give you a little break here, 240 feet, par 3. It's really straight down. It's not not a dog leg left or right or anything. But there's all these trees in the way, of course. And Brian throws another beautiful shot. Sarah should be showing you where the basket is. Yep, there you go. And yeah, so it's just lots of trees as usual. And then when they cut down these trees, there's stumps in the way. So if you throw your disc and you hit these stumps, you're kind of stuck, and it doesn't let your disc slide as far as you'd like to.
It's like little beards in your stubble when your girlfriend rubs your face and it just doesn't work and she slaps you instead.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a slap to the face.
Oh no!
And David, I think,
Oh,
wow,
it's a tree.
He's not too happy.
And it's very early on too, so he's definitely not very happy.
And Robbie asked for a mid-range and throws it piercing. And I think what he did was he was aiming for Sarah. You can see Sarah moving there. Because that's kind of where she was standing.
Yes, the plan worked.
She was standing at a very good vantage point. So if you aim for her, your disc is gonna fade in towards the basket. So that was a good idea on Robbie's part. Except it scared our camera lady. And yeah, that was. Here's David again, getting in trouble again. You can see kind of that little where his disc. You see where the disc went?
That's
Between those two twigs.
Between the bush and two trees.
Oh my God! It's up how he got out.
Guy's an expert getting out of the bush.
Yeah, he is. Oh, he catches the branch.
Dude, Nate and low-hanging branches are like the bane of this game for him.
Yeah. And here's Robbie. He's about, I want to say 50 feet out here. 45.
And he just smacks it down. Look at
Without jump putting. Maybe 40 feet, but he's really far out. I just know he's... That's
It's like a classical ballerina. You know, all of his actions are just so...
smooth.
They're smooth, but they don't look, you know, crazy. Like, they're not like showstopper, like weird moves like, you know, Earhart here. But, you know, he's just got that consistency of like, you know, nothing dramatic. It just gets done.
Nice putt. Gets it right in. And here's David for par.
All these guys have definitely very different play styles.
And I think I love watching that from players. I love watching the different play styles. And I think Nate, that was for par, and now David's gonna. This is for Bogue, I believe. Yep. He's not too happy about it. He hits himself in the head. Yeah, he was the only one that got the Bogue on that one.
But look how tight that spread is. You know, like none of them have a huge lead except the card leader.
Yeah. All right, here's Brian. Hole number 15, it's like a huge curve, and then once after this curve, on all these trees, you have to go another 150, 200 feet from that fairway. So let's see if Sarah can show us where one of these discs land. Okay, there's Al's drive, where it lands, and then she's gonna kind of show you, hopefully here. I don't know which one of these holes she's gonna show us.
Sorry, I've just been distracted thinking like.
And then Robbie gets a crazy kick. And it's in the bush, so she's gonna show you where the basket is from here. So where the players are walking towards, you gotta go up that way to get to the basket.
Yeah, it's almost a 90-degree bend.
Almost, yeah. And so Nate, he's in the fairway. He's in the open.
And I'd say that's probably the first time a tree actually helped them bounce it back towards the corner.
Trees have not been nice to Nate today.
No.
Oh.
It definitely helped him.
It helped him, but it kicked it to the left too much.
And it also stopped the momentum.
Because
he could have gotten further down, maybe even to the open.
Yeah, because you can see where that big tree is. Yeah, that's where you kind of want to be, is in front of that big tree. And if you're on the left side, like these guys are right here, it's really hard to throw straight at it. Yeah. But they're in the fairway now, but... So now Nate's opting for this sidearm here. And he's trying to go for the S shot, but I think it's panning out too early. He might have to putt from there. So Al is right in the middle of the fairway, as you can see.
A nice straight shot towards the disc.
Ooh, turn up. Ooh, and it kicks forward.
And he kicks again.
Oh, that's too funny. And Brian does this sidearm again. Oh, it hits the tree. But he still has a putt. It's a nice upshot by David there.
I think he overshot a little bit, actually.
And there's Robbie. I think he's about 30, 40 feet out here. And it is OB behind that little, where those, the signs are. There's little signs right behind the basket.
You can see them sticking out right there.
Yeah.
The basket.
In the lower left-hand corner, you can see it sticking out. If you go behind those, that is OB. So they got to be careful when they're running at it. And that looks okay. Nate's safe. And here's Al.
You can't really see, but behind that it's actually a drop, and that's why it's OB.
yourself,
Yeah, he just catches that one chain on the outside. All right, I think everybody's gonna tap in their putts here. So hole number 15 is another interesting hole. I think the next hole, 16, is also another interesting hole. We're going back over that creek again, the Squaw Creek. Except the tee is really elevated, and then you go over the Squaw Creek. Al actually birdied that.
Yeah.
Wow.
That he was, you know, I think he just finally relaxed. I mean, right around here, and just starting to like.
So from the drone here, you can see the tee box, and Al's coming at you right now. And you go over the creek, and here's from Sarah and where he lands it. So go over the creek, you go down, dip into the creek, then you straighten out, and then you have a little mound where the green is. It's a mound.
And there's also a big tree that has all of its branches just overhanging, covering the mound.
Right there, you can see.
Yep, and you can see.
And Brian goes in these bushes. Now, you don't want to go in there. That skip was not beneficial for him at all.
And see, the challenge in this hole is...
And here's you can see in the left-hand corner that tree that we were talking about, that Claw's talking about there. Yep.
If you throw it too high, you hit the tree, so you gotta try to sneak it underneath the tree, but it makes it very hard. You have a very narrow gap.
Just a narrow window in general. And here's Nate, and
as you can see, he hits the tree, and it just drops it shortly on the bottom of the mound, which...
But Robbie parked it, so...
You know, Robbie just squeezes it in there. Watch this. Look how flat that is.
Well, no, this is David. David,
oh, sorry,
David has the same tree, but Robbie, previous shot was parked. But yeah. So here's David. Ooh. Ooh, nice.
I remember him missing that rim by like inches.
And we got Nate. Oh. And I think this is Brian coming out.
Coming out of the bush.
Yep. And he got out because that is crazy because it's really tight in there. And here's Al. Nice putt. Wow.
Good Al just like on top of his game now, just laughing the whole time.
And that's where Robbie landed from his drive. And he birdies it. So I think David, Brian, and Nate are all going to tap in their pars here. It was Al and Robbie that birdie. All right, moving on to hole. This hole 16, and it was also hole 12 in the white. So now we're going on to 17. 17 gold is. It looks simple, par 3 285, but from this drone shot, you can see they're gonna throw up over this hill, and the drone's gonna show you. And that may actually make it look easy, but if you look from in the left-hand corner, you can see how deep that hill is, how steep it is.
It's very steep. You can't see above it. You know,
it's a blind green is really what it is.
Because it doesn't give you the perception of how long this hole really is.
Yeah.
You know.
And so the drone is kind of giving you that whole complete shot from the tee to the other side with the hill and the trees, and that's a good looking shot right there by Brian. And Sarah's going to show you where Brian's shot finishes. So yeah, the green is pretty big.
Yep. And what you don't see is how long that hill stretches before it peaks.
Yeah. And
you know.
And you can kind of see.
You really have to throw it high.
And Nate goes into the bushes back there. So yeah, so you can kind of get from all the different angles here that, and David's shot pans out way too early, so he's gonna have a tough putt. And the wind is swirling at this point, I think. Oh, and it pushes. Just get it. And here's Nate coming out, so you can see the tree above Nate's head. It's the wind is pushing. Yeah, that's kind of tough to putt out of there. Yeah.
The wind's really picking up because we're like right in front of hole 17 and 18, which are huge open fields on top of a hill. Mm-hmm. So like now we're picking up a lot of wind, and you can see the guys all just testing the wind before they start putting or anything.
Ooh, nice putt. Wow.
Like a Spider-Man putt.
That was for 2. And Al.
Oh.
And here's Robbie. Oh, he just shorts it.
Again, this is where the
You can tell in his face that he knew that coming out it was not gonna go in.
this is another example where like being on the bottom of the hill makes putting a different challenge, and that's what a lot of people do is you end up throwing too low. You don't want to throw it too high because then you get over, but then 90% of the time you hit the rim for us newbies.
All right, Brian is taking a huge stroke lead over everyone else. I mean, he's 3 strokes ahead of Al, so Al still has a chance. But I mean, we only got 2 holes left.
Yep.
But Brian throws really far.
He's definitely got a solid lead. You know, you just got to keep it consistent at this point. Not even.
So this course is 18 holes, but it's got a stockade hole. And okay, so let's talk about this hole here. Brian's throwing. It's good for left-handed, but basically where he lands, you don't want to land in there.
Nope.
And where those white stakes are, if you land in there, it's OB, and you have to go to the drop zone, which you can see where the red stake is. That's a drop zone.
It's a very huge penalty.
Yeah. But if you throw it where Brian went into, it's safe.
Yep.
The only thing is getting out of it is a stroke, so you literally just lose a stroke anyway. And where Robbie landed is really good, just somewhere over there. To the left, the path is OB. To the left of the path is OB, and you have to go to the drop zone. So, and this is the drone shot, kind of showing you how long this hole is, and kind of showing you the landmarks that I just talked about with the stakes and kind of the swamp area. And however, if you throw it to the right of where those the white stakes in them, I think that's where Nate's going right now.
No, I think he just turns over and goes in the woods too.
Yes, but if you're over there, you're not OB. You are safe. However, getting out of there, and if you go into where the stakes are, you're OB again. So you have to. It's kind of just death over there, no matter what.
Especially with this new positioning.
That looks like a good drive. It needs to come back. Oh, and he goes in the same spot as Nate. That is just death over there.
No, Nate was shorter.
Nate was shorter, but he's like in that general.
This is the OB zone.
So
right here.
L went OB. So this is the drop zone that we were talking about, and he cans it to the middle of the fairway here. So that's good. And this is Nate popping out, so it gives you guys an idea of where he is. And it was so tight in there, we could not get our cameras in there. And I don't know how he got out. And when I asked him about it later, he's like, he didn't even know how he got out either. He just threw it and it came out. And that's David coming out. So now they're in that fairway. And so this is for 3 now. So Nate's throwing his 3rd shot. And to the left of where that is where the gold basket is.
You can see it now.
And here's David.
As you can see, a crowd was gathering up, and so it made flying the drone kind of hard. But
and David fell from throwing that because he's on that slight hill, but somehow he manages to get the disc to go up there. And look where Robbie landed. Well, here, this is Brian coming out of those woods. And then here's Robbie. And here we go. And he throws a blue disc. Now, this is his 2nd shot, and we couldn't catch it. But you see where the patch of grass is to the right of the screen? That's where he landed. And he's, like, past the white basket. So this is Brian's 3rd shot. So Robbie's thrown 2 shots already. So here's Al's. I think this is the 4th shot.
yeah, because he had 1 OB.
Yeah, he had a drop zone shot. And we got Dave coming up here. And here's Nate. And they're all just kind of like pitching up here at this point because the wind is playing a role in this too. And this is Robbie's 3rd shot. And he just lays up. I mean...
Yeah, I believe Robbie pars this, doesn't he?
That is crazy.
I know somebody parred this one. That was really impressive.
And then here's Al. Oh, I think at this point there was a gallery. We had a gallery behind us, so I think these players are like, oh, they're all watching me. Like, oh, and David's not happy with that either. I think Nate is the one that's the least affected by it. He always just goes up and does his thing.
Yep. The gallery was definitely just people walking back, but then like as they got approached, they just all stopped.
And everybody's
right on the sidewalk and just watched.
Yep.
And they moved along with the group too, so it was kind of awkward.
I think they were just trying to be courteous and not get in these players' ways. So yeah, you can see Al.
Yeah, Robbie.
Robbie birdied that.
Yep.
He did it. He shot that in 4, which is impressive. 975 feet, and he did it in 4. And this last hole is kind of like a breather hole. You made throughout 18 holes. It's still considered part of the 19 holes in this tournament. But the interesting about this hole is where those mounds are. If you get your disc in those mounds, you don't take a penalty, but you have to take the disc and bring it behind the mound, and then throw it back towards the basket. So you're still kind of getting a stroke, but you don't get a stroke for being OB or anything like that. So the idea is just to throw it. I think they're all trying to do hyzers to get around this first mound here. But both Brian and Nate have gone a little wide. And Al just takes one of these OS Buzz and just throws it towards there and just parks it. And David's going the other hyzer route. He needs to come down though. Oh. That's right, it's still in the green. Yep, and you see where Robbie is. That's kind of where you have to take your disc directly from the mound. But he didn't hit the mound. That's just where he landed. Alright, so here's Nate going in. Oh, so close. And we're looking at Brian now. This is for 2. Oh, my God.
Rim job.
Dang, that's so close.
The noise just so ear grinding.
Yeah.
Clunk.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Just lobs it in.
Yeah, that's Robbie he's pretty relaxed. And here's Al for bird.
Yeah, he was so close to that
And
mound.
He just...
If he hit that mound, he'd be behind the mound. That would suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see now that we were up closer, you can see how close the mounds are to the basket.
Yeah.
Which, that's the challenge is not only do you have to park it, but you have to park it relatively close.
Yep.
I mean, I know that's the definition of parked, but now there's a penalty.
All right, so that is the final hole. Everybody's just talking and getting their scores together and everything. That is pretty much our coverage for this Squaw Creek Open. Let us know what you think about the camera angles. We try to talk through it. We try to tell you what's going on with the camera angles. I know it's a little confusing if we were just to put the video up and not tell you what's going on. Al bird the last hole, so that's great. I think Brian took first. Al was tied for 3rd. Robbie 5th, and Nate was 10th, and David was 14th. So congrats to Brian on that one. So this is here with Viridisk. We do have our website is up, so let us know what you think, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks for listening.